Hello, my fellow readers. It is I, Dark Symphony 777, with another fan fiction review. As always, a link to the story will be in the description. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on a future story or your own opinion. Remember that this is my opinion. So, the story I'm going to be reviewing today is called Batman and Benson by McFerguson. Okay. With all like the weird old names like Wile E. Coyote and like getting like a normal name like McFerguson is like a bless. Oh, this story was made in 2005, dang. It's a Law and Order SVU story. Wait. Active Olivia. Oh, never mind. It's a crossover, yet for some reason it's not labeled a crossover. It's labeled a SVU fanfiction. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Bye. No, I'm kidding. I lost my train of thought for a second. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact I just literally noticed that it's not a crossover. Wow. Okay. So the plot is basically there's a crime. What's the term for it? Crime ring, slave ring, human trafficking. There you go. Trafficking ring. And Olympia Benson, she stopped them, but she has a lead of someone who worked for him in Gotham City, so she travels to Gotham, and then she runs into like all the cops. She runs into Montoya, Bullock, Gordon. It's been a while since I read anything related to Batman, so I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to remember. And she tries to solve the case of everything that's happening while also teaming up with the Batman. And then there's a lot of little Easter eggs. There's a lot of little nods to both series. There's like a bunch of cameos. There's like Munch is a douchebag. Because does Batman sleep? Is Batman a government facility? I don't know. Is wrestling real? Hey! So about the plot. This is one of those plots that doesn't need to be long. I'm actually happy that the story is about 27,000 words. I don't think it needs to stretch any more than like 30,000. The overall plot of Olivia Benson going to Gotham, meeting all the characters, going to Arkham, seeing the Joker for like a couple seconds, having to deal with the Penguin and everything, because it looks like this is like a series of like a 7-part series. Well, it's actually 8 stories, but the 8th one, I think he abandoned the series during the 8th one. And I think it makes a lot of sense of Penguin being kind of her first opponent, mainly due to the fact he's probably the most, well, at least crazy gimmicky. He just has a bunch of umbrellas. I also like the little joke where she's like she's like grabs an umbrella and like her girlfriend, I guess Alex Cabot. I'm not real familiar with Spectral Victims Unit. And she's like, "Which umbrella? They're all the same." So just hand me one. And she points at it and says, "Well, I wonder what is this? Does this umbrella spray gas? Ooh, maybe it gives you a little blade." It said, and Penguin goes, "No, that's my machine gun umbrella." And I'm thinking, how does he know that? They're all the same. If they're all the same, how does he know which one does which? Does he have umbrella senses? It's like, my umbrella senses are tingling. So how do you know this umbrella does it? I'm Penguin. Wah, wah, wah. I liked all the little nods to the series. Olivia finding out who Batman is. Was at least, well, I don't like it. Was at least moderately well done. The whole Olivia's mistaken for someone else, I didn't like that simply because it felt rushed to me. I'm not saying it's bad, it just felt rushed. And I'd say and then at the end, Gordon offers Olivia a position of making an SVU unit in Gotham. She declines because she wants to be at New York, and so she earns the respect of Batman and Bullock and Montoya and all them. And overall, I like the plot. It didn't overstay its welcome. I think if it went any longer than it did, it would have dragged unless you were trying to do some kind of super creative thing. Character development. I like the characters. Batman and Olivia kind of make a good team. They play off each other pretty well. Alex, I didn't get enough. I don't know who Alex is, mainly because, again, as far as I know, she's like a character from SVU, and I don't know the character that much. All the little nods to like other villains we have. We had in the final chapter alone, we had cameos of Catwoman, Two-Face, a reference to Killer Croc, and Harley Quinn. Although probably the only error I would have to say the story is the fact that instead of the actual name Harleen Quinzel, the author calls her Dr. Harley Quinn. It's not really that big a deal because a lot of people who aren't really big fans of Harley Quinn don't know that Harley Quinn is more her alias than her actual name. So if you read a lot of Batman fan fictions and they're not really hardcore fans, they're mostly just going to call her Harley or Harley Quinn and completely not even realize that she has an actual name. And so this is just one of those instances where the author just didn't know that Harley Quinn has an actual name. I thought that was her name. It's like, nope. And it's not that big a deal. Although I would change it, just a little quickie change, and put it in like the crossover section. Grammar, I didn't see anything wrong grammar-wise, except for the Harley Quinn thing, but that's more common mistake than anything really remotely bad. Pacing, it's paced just right. It's simple enough that you can easily picture the areas like Gotham and Batman and how he's described everything in your head easy enough. And everything is, hunky-dory and everything and fun. 7 minutes. I'm used to reviewing really longer stories, unless I'm doing a reading. So this is probably one of my shorter videos. Would I recommend it? Favorite part and final thoughts. Favorite part, I don't have a favorite part, mainly because it kind of stays steady the entire time. Not one moment really stands out to me, and that's not a bad thing. It's just I just don't personally have a favorite part. Would I recommend it? I would recommend it. It's actually a fun enough story that if you want to at least get into Special Victims Unit, or if you're not a Batman fan, you want to get into Batman, this is pretty much an easy introductory story to either fandom. In the case of Turnabout Storm, a lot of people who didn't really know about Ace Attorney found out through this and then became fans of it. This is kind of the same thing. Final thoughts? I really don't have final thoughts. I think it's a great introductory story to the Batman and Benson series. I don't know. I've read this story and then the second story. After that, I'm completely in the dark. There's really not a lot to say about the story, mainly because it's simple enough that you really don't have to really talk about it, besides in the broadest terms. Benson goes to Gotham, meets Batman, meets the Commissioner, meets all these crazy kooky guys, and then helps Batman stop the Penguin. And that's pretty much it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe since when I get to 2, because I know the 2 deals with the Joker, which I think is a really big letdown. I'll tell you that when I get to that review. And after that, from 3 to 7, I'm going to be in the dark as much as you are. So, that's my review. Sorry for it being so short. And I will see you next time. And